Alrighty, so I was filming some stuff for the Jimny, some parts that have arrived, doing some more stuff with the motorbike, but this arrived a couple of weeks ago. Just been driving it around a little bit. It is mine, I've purchased it. Once again, this video is brought to you by a sponsor, being my bank account. Yeah, all you have to do is, save money, you put it in a bank account, then you can afford things. That's how it works. Or you get people to sponsor your channel, but that hasn't happened in this case, so I've had to go buy my own crap. Now, this vehicle has shocked and upset and done a whole bunch of things to a whole bunch of different people. Let's just get into the look of the vehicle first, right? So in Australia, we're only getting the square headlights. We're not getting the round ones, based on a very good reason. So this whole vehicle is based off the 60 series Land Cruiser Sahara. I'll put a little video or a little picture up on the screen now. Do with it what you will, take the parts out of it that you think, but pretty much the square rectangle headlights, sort of retrofit, you have a look. There's little square headlights from the 60 series. The curve up the back is the same as the Sahara roof, little things like that. But we'll get into that a bit more later on. In Australia, you have, what, 6 variations of this. So GX, GXL, Altitude, VX, and Kakadu, so 5. How you look at that along the spectrum, and if it's good and if it's bad, a couple of things weighs up. There's 2 models in this variants that have 5 seats, all the rest are 7-seaters, and that has caused so much controversy in how they have put the 7 seats in this vehicle. I absolutely love it. I love what Toyota Japan, so not Toyota Australia, Toyota Japan, how they come up with the design and done the 7 seats. We'll get into that in a little bit, but I absolutely love it. So everywhere else in the world, besides a couple other places, this is a 5-seater car. 5-seater car. In Australia, this is 5 and 7 seats, depending on the model you get. 2.8 litre diesel, straight from the Hilux, with a 48-volt system. That is a whole nother controversy in the reasons why they've done that there. And the sun's come out and it's just got super bright. Anyway, okay, so what model is this? So I'm not an idiot, so I went and bought the Altitude, which is the 5-seater, pretty much with all the works. Now, the way things are sort of listed on the websites back and forth, the next step up, so you got the VX and the Kakadu, you're looking at color-coded flares, electric suspension, panoramic roof, but you don't have steering stabilizer, rear diff lock. So it really depends, and 20-inch rims as opposed to 18s, which these are slightly different than the 18s you'll get on the GXL and GX. The GX base model, 5 seats, but cloth interior and a few other things that are missing. So it really depends on what you want to do. If you want to build something from scratch and have it really decked out, yeah, go to the GX or GXL, rip the spare seats out, which we'll get to in a minute, and yeah, you have yourself a bit of a weapon. But I went for the Altitude, pretty much got everything there, and I'll deck it out how I like from there. But let's get into a few things. I want to go around the back first. I want to start from the back and talk about a big issue that a lot of people have. Alrighty, so a big issue that people have is the lack of the spare wheel, which you had on the 150. If people only just actually looked at things, it would save so much hassle. So you've got all these professional car reviewers that are like, oh, they've taken the spare wheel off, they've put it underneath, it's now only got an 87-litre tank. So that's not the case at all. Now, if you actually knew what you were talking about and you did that for a living, and you did some research, you would find that the last couple of years of the run of the 150s, especially in Australia, Toyota had a no-cost option where you could take the spare tyre and have it underneath the car, and they put a flat boot on exactly like this with the pop-up glass, no different, just slightly different shape. That had an 87-litre tank because they've had to make it smaller to fit that spare wheel under. This has a 110-litre tank. So yes, you're still going down from 150 or 180, depending on what you had, to 110, but you've also got a more economical engine. And people go, oh, it's still not enough. You're still getting 1,200 plus Ks a tank out of this car. If you don't come across a fuel station, well, first of all, let's get into how this car was used. This car was used mainly as, you know, soccer mum car, getting the kids to school and the weekends, that sort of stuff. Toyota Japan have said, no, that's enough. This is a proper four-wheel drive. Stop using it like that. So you get 5 seats. Toyota Australia have gone, oh, hang on a minute. They really like their 7 seats. Is there anything we can do? So that it looks like some little Toyota Japanese engineer has just gone, fine. And they've come up with this big box section, thrown it in the back, the most awkward looking thing you've ever seen, and gone, bam, there's your 7 seats. As a big like FU, which I love that. And they're right. These cars are designed as a 5-seater. They're trying to get back to their roots being, these are a 4-wheel drive. If you want a family wagon, go buy a family wagon, go buy a van, go buy the Kluger, you know, something that's a little bit designed for that. And people go, oh, but you know, 7 seats, I want to be able to move the kids around, I want to be able to go 4-wheel drive and blah, blah, blah. I've been 4-wheel driving for 30 plus years, everywhere. I have never, ever seen 7 people get out of a 4-wheel drive. So Toyota have wanted to get back to their roots in saying, you know, this is a 4-wheel drive. A lot of people get upset about that. You know, give me the 7 seats, I just want to use it to cruise around town. That's why they've released all these different models with the fact that the Altitude is the only one that has a rear diff lock from the factory, and sway bar disconnects. Everything else, it doesn't have it. So you've got good traction control across the range, so there's no doubt about that. But this is designed as the off-road model. The thing I like about what Toyota have done is they've just gone, F you, we're getting back to our roots. This is a 4-wheel drive. You know, if you want 7 seats, here's the big box. If not, you know, stiff shit. All right, so the 5-seaters have this little part of the platform. The ones with the 7 seats, a little bit higher, it's probably about there. And then the seats fold out from there. So this setup here could be a lot lower. It's exactly the same setup that's in the 48-volt Hilux, and that setup just mounts slap bang behind the rear seat. No issues there at all. Here, there is lots of room underneath here. And if you're gonna rip the 7 seats out and put drawers in, or even this here, I'm putting drawers in this one here. They're a couple of weeks away. It actually sits fairly low, so I don't know what people are complaining about really. Oh, the weight limit of this, people just need to read. It's only this box here, that lid. This lid here has a weight limit of 60 kilos. Everything else, go for it. But all that's coming out. So once you remove all this back, you gain about 21 kilos out of it. Obviously the drawers are gonna take some weight, but this whole setup here, 21 kilos once you rip it out. And let's go into the way people do test these vehicles as well. So there's a couple of sort of, I wouldn't say YouTube people out there, but they're more on everything, saying they're car experts and car test experts and everything like that. Now they test this vehicle, and every vehicle that I've seen, up to 130 k's an hour. Like, why? Like the main highways, like if you don't know Australia, everyone sort of lives on the coastline, right? Very few people live in the middle. Now, Northern Territory, which is smack bang in the middle, up towards the top, I'll bring up on the map here, there's like 3 or 4 roads there that you can do 130 k's an hour on. That's what they test this car to. Like, why? There's no point in testing cars to 130 k's an hour to see how they handle. You know, if you want to go to a racetrack, if it's a race car, something like that, supercar, go for it. This is designed as a 4-wheel drive. Now you get some people that have got given this car from Toyota, they're absolutely fanging it down a dirt road, come across a water puddle, and they hit it doing, you know, 60, 70 k's an hour, short out the engine, and then wonder what happened. The air intake on this is like right behind the headlight. So if you hit water, water's gonna come up, go in the air intake, and away you go. That's the whole purpose of having a fully sealed snorkel on a vehicle. And you wade through the water. You don't hit it at top speed. So I really don't know how these people are sort of, let's say, qualified to even test these vehicles, and the fact that people take them seriously to give them a car to test. And if you think they're doing a good job, just go hand your license back in, really. They're probably the same people that think that, you know, once you've bought a car from the factory, nothing should be changed on it. The factory has done the best job that they can and you shouldn't modify the car in any way whatsoever. It's just not the case. You need to modify the car to do what you need it to do. Whether it be, even, like, we'll take this car for example, right? Even Toyota give you options on how to modify the car. You want a snorkel, you want a bull bar, you want tow bar. They're technically modifications. It's not how it came out of the factory. So people just need to, you know, just calm down a little bit. And yeah, it's very frustrating watching how people test cars. So yeah, so testing it up to 130 k's an hour, no point whatsoever. Because Northern Territory, right? There's roughly 255,000 people that live in the Northern Territory. It's the sparsest populated state or territory in Australia. Has the highest rate of young population, so people under 15. Has one of the highest rates of welfare. So why are you advertising a car like this to a place which, you know, not necessarily can't afford it, but there's no point in promoting that this car, yep, or any car, you can sit it at 130 k's an hour and this is what you do, because it's just not the facts. It's just not real world testing. And then you go and put this in reverse and see how fast it can go in reverse. Who gives a crap how fast a car can go in reverse? Absolutely nobody. You're not doing crazy J-turns out of here thinking you're in Fast and Furious. Like, there's no need. There's no zombies running at you that you need to get out in a hurry. People just need to, yeah, test things properly. In saying that, I'm going to take this off-road, not do anything crazy with it, and show you where people are being stupid, but wait for a few things to come for it first. Still need to take the Jimny out and take that for a little bit of a test drive. But yeah, a couple of weeks, we will have the drawers in. I think mid-April, the bull bar's coming for it. Not a Toyota one. I've got an ARB one on order. And it just keeps getting pushed back and pushed back. I've had that on order before I even got the car, so yeah. Okay, another thing that people seem to have gotten wrong, as you notice on my number plate here, there's no EV sticker. So a lot of people are saying, you know, you need an EV sticker because it's got a lithium battery in the back, and it's so the fire responders, if your car's on fire, know what side of battery's in the car to put it out. That is the biggest load of crap I've ever heard in my life. First of all, if your lithium battery goes in your car will be a puddle of molten rubber and fire before the fire brigade even gets there. So don't worry about that. Secondly, the fire brigade treat all vehicle fires as like an electrical, petrol, whatever fire anyway. So they know what they're doing. They don't give a crap what batteries are in your car. Also, my Ducati motorbike only has a lithium battery. That's a starting battery. Should I get a special sticker on my number plate to show people what sort of battery it's got in it? No, it just doesn't work that way. Now, it does have, you know, a battery in the back of it to help start it and do all that sort of crap, but it's pretty much just a secondary battery. This, instead of having an alternator starter motor, has a generator. So pretty much like cars did back in the 1920s, except this is just more high efficient and can pretty much start the car really, really quickly. That's why it's good for stop start, that sort of thing. Now, easiest way to tell that the car isn't an EV, a lot of people have an EV sticker, go have a look at your registration. Are you getting a discount for having an EV? Because every state in Australia has a massive discount for an EV vehicle. I guarantee you're not getting it. So why I had the sticker on there. Oh, and also, when you purchase a new car, I don't care what it is, this car, whatever you get, it has like a little plastic frame around the number plate and it'll say where you got your car from. Get rid of it. Why are you advertising where you bought your car from? Are they paying you to keep that on your car as advertisement for them? No, you've already bought your car. Why are you driving a car around that has advertisement on it for them? Okay, I mainly want to bring your attention to pretty much the center console here. Now this is the altitude, has everything sort of, pretty much has everything filled out. So rear diff lock, stabilizer disconnect, traction control off, center diff lock. if you bought a VX or a Kakadu, these two are blanks. Now, I don't know about you, but if I bought what's classed as the top of the line models and I have blanks in the main area, I'll be like, hang on a minute, what's going on here? Why are there blanks there? That would like really upset me. Like, you lash out all of that money. And the reason for that is they don't want people to buy those models. They're trying to get people away from the road-based models into the four-wheel drive models, which the altitude. So the pick of the bunch, essentially. I'm not just saying that because I have it. It's just the smartest option, really. Like, why would you lash out an extra $20-something thousand to have electronic suspension that you can't change, a panoramic sunroof, so if you were to put roof racks on there, you're very limited to what you can do with the panoramic sunroof. If you open it the wrong way, or if you get the wrong roof racks, you're gonna hit it. So you really got to look at what you're going to be doing with that vehicle. Now, they're pushing these as a four-wheel drive. They're not pushing it as a people mover anymore. You've got to get that out of your head. Yeah, it's basics. So if you're going to get the GX or GXL model, yeah, put your air lockers in here. Go for it. That's what I would do if I was going to do that. That's what I'd be using those spots for anyway. Center console, it's a Prado thing. You've got a cooler. A lot of people complain that it should just be a normal glove box. Prado have been doing that forever, so it is what it is. Another complaint is people don't have enough room or anywhere to put their sunglasses. Either wear them or put them in your bag or put them on the back seat. I don't really care. That's not my problem. I hardly ever wear sunnies anyway. So another issue is the bonnet. So I'll pop that open and let's have a look at that. All right, so let's talk about the issue with the bonnet. It's not really an issue, right? So the bonnet's nice and light. They go, how come it's so light? Now, the bonnet is aluminium. They go, oh, aluminium, it's gonna dent. It's gonna dent. Now, if you know anything about cars, Land Rover, Range Rover have been making their whole cars out of aluminium since the 70s. Out of aluminium, same stuff as that. Do they dent? You hit it hard enough? Yes, it's gonna dent. Is it a problem? No, not at all. Now, what would you prefer? Like, my dad's got the 48 volt Hilux. The bonnet on that, terribly heavy. It's nice and light. The other issue people have is the bonnet stay. They go, oh, we need gas struts. Why do you need gas struts? Oh, to help the bonnet stay up. How often are you opening the bonnet? Let's go 90, I'm going to throw a figure out there. There'll be 90 plus people that own a Prado or any car in that matter, probably don't even service their own car. So why do you need to open the bonnet? To change the washer fluid? Or not even change the washer fluid, just to fill the washer fluid? Is the bonnet stay going to get in the way to fill the washer fluid that's here? No. Is the bonnet stay going to get in the way to replace the engine? No, because you're going to take the bonnet off to do that anyway. So I just don't think a lot of people think things through before they make comments like this. A bonnet stay is the lightest option. You go and put gas struts in, you're adding weight to your car, that is a lot heavier than a bonnet stay. I just don't get people with that sort of stuff. Now, what I said before, this is the 2.8 turbo diesel, pretty much straight out of the previous generation. Well, it is straight out of the newest Hilux, being the 48 volt. That's one good decision that Toyota Australia did do, because petrol in Australia is terrible. People go, oh, you should have put the 2.7 petrol in there. No. Fuel economy on those things are ridiculous. Fuel economy is a lot better on this. And also, let's go around the side here and I'll show you another thing that people are complaining about, which you really can't really complain about these days. And it's not even an issue. So people just need to get that out of their heads. And that being that this vehicle now has AdBlue. Okay, oh, it's just something else. But people just need to calm down, essentially. All right. proper way to close a bonnet. Drop it. Don't push it. That's how you dent it. All right, let's go around the side. Alrighty, AdBlue. So massive, massive fuel cap. As you can see there, diesel and AdBlue. So it has an 18-litre AdBlue tank, and in saying that, you get around 8,000 kilometres before you have to fill it. So, a couple of ways people fill it. The stupid way, which is you go into a car shop, so Super Cheap, Repco, place like that. You buy it off the shelf there for $35 for 4 litres or whatever it is, and you fill it that way, the very expensive way. Or you go to a service station, a major service station, and there's plenty of them around, over the trucking area, and right beside the diesel pump, there's an AdBlue pump, and you can fill them both at the same time. And it's about $1.40, $1.50 a litre. Amazing. But a lot of people don't think of that. Now they go, oh, we're going to go on a cross-country Australia trip. This only has 8,000 k range. Oh please, if you can't find an AdBlue tank within 8,000 kilometres before you need to go off on your trip, just hand your driver's licence back in. You do not deserve to drive at all. It's only 4,500 k's across the country. Done it many times. So you can fill up before you go, fill up when you get there, and fill up when you get back. It's not an issue. Worst case scenario, get a jerry can, go to the servo when you're filling this up, put some AdBlue in it. And it's only going to cost you probably 10 bucks as opposed to 35, 40 bucks for the same amount from a Super Cheap or Repco, somewhere like that. The reason this exists is because of the hippies. So take it up with them. This gets injected into the exhaust after the engine to make everything all nice and fluffy as it comes out the exhaust. So it's a non-compliant issue, really. Just do it. Yeah. So I think that's about it. I think that's all I need to complain about how people are talking about this car. What else have we got? Oh yeah, I'll go around the front and I'll show you something else. All right, so I'm not a 100% Toyota fanboy. I've owned lots of Land Rovers up until, well, I did own a Ford Land Rover Defender. So in that, when Ford owned Land Rover, worst car ever. Everything that had FOMOCO written on it broke. So people are comparing these to people are comparing these to Everests, sort of like for value for money. For me, no, I'll never buy another Ford as long as I live. In saying that, Toyota haven't got this car 100% correct. The 7-seat thing, even though it doesn't bother me, it does bother some people. But I do like that, Toyota Japan just went, no, F you, design it as a 5-seater. You can have this little extra box if you want it. The side steps on this absolutely suck. They're too flimsy, they're not strong. As soon as you hit something, off they go. I do have another set on order for that, but I need to go to Brisbane and pick them up because they want $400 in shipping, and I'd rather go for a 4-wheel drive trip and pick them up and do that. I'd spend $400 on fuel there and back than have the shipping company just ship them down here. Bull bars on order, so that's mid-April sometime. That's ARB one, wasn't getting the Toyota one. Drawers are on order, that's hopefully in about the next 2 weeks. The colour of the car, so people go, well, why did you get the white as opposed to the two heritage colours for it? I just don't like it. One's like a poo brown colour, like baby poo brown colour, and the other's the blue. And it just didn't, with the white roof, just didn't tick any boxes for me. I just sort of saw them as mid-2000s when Ford brought out all the real bright colours of the cars. You don't see them around anymore. It's sort of like a one-off. People go, oh, that's amazing, but on a day-to-day basis, yeah, I don't like it. Dark coloured cars, like there's a couple of dark coloured ones in this range that I did like, but where I live here, dark coloured cars always look dirty. White, it either looks clean or it's cleanish. But dark coloured cars, yeah, especially where I live around here, it just doesn't work well. Like even the Jimny, You know, I got that because that was absolute bargain. I didn't have a choice in the color, but that's actually going semi-okay. But washing wise, I need to wash that more than this, even though this gets driven more than the Jimny. All right, so accessories for this car. People said when you buy the car, so like a towing pack or something like that, you need to buy it when you order it and get them to fit it, because you can't go back in the next day or the next week and order that part. Absolute load of crap. That's exactly what I did. I bought this car, then the next week I went back in and I got the tow pack. If you don't believe me, I'll just go get it. Like, I still have to fit it, but I've printed all the instructions off. You just go in there. I'll put the part numbers up on the screen. I've got the 12-pin off-road pack, so not everyone's going to go for the 12-pin, but I'm going to process of making a video where, depending on what you're doing, there's no reason you shouldn't go for the 12-pin. It just means you can do everything. You know, 7 pins can plug into the 12-pin and it all works, not a problem. But yeah, you can definitely go into Toyota and order all the parts for it, and yeah, they can't really knock it back because it's designed for that car. This isn't a 300 series one or anything like that. You know, it actually says on it somewhere, off-road towing, specifically designed for Toyota Land Cruiser Prado, being this model. Same as this here, the 12-pin kit, off-road. But yeah, so it's going to be a fun little machine. Going to do some tours in it, that sort of thing. The Jimny is going to be more off-road, and this is going to be more fire tracks, long distance, family wagon, off-road, but not with 7 people in it. So yeah, if you're one of those people that needs 7 people to go off-road, don't know where you are, because I've never seen you. So stop saying that you need, you know, 7 seats in a Prado, because you don't. Hopefully you enjoyed that little bit of a rant, and yeah, let me know below what you think. It's going to be fun.